Seniors, I need you to hear this carefully. After age 60, your body changes, and everyday foods that once seemed healthy can suddenly spike blood sugar, weaken muscles, inflame joints, and drain energy. This channel shares powerful natural health insights inspired by Dr. Josh Axe to help you eat smarter, age stronger, and avoid the silent nutrition mistakes most older adults never see coming. Let's protect your health starting today. Most seniors don't know this, and that's the danger. Oatmeal has been marketed for decades as the safest choice, but without the right steps, it becomes the exact opposite. One study found that fiber eaten without enough hydration increased constipation risk by 40% in people over 60. These numbers aren't theory. They're the reality I've seen in clinic after clinic. Ham, 71, who thought his daily oats were protecting his heart. In truth, he was making 3 of these mistakes every morning, and they were quietly driving up his cholesterol and draining his energy. Once he fixed them, his digestion smoothed out and his strength returned. And that's why this video is so urgent. We're breaking down the 10 oatmeal mistakes every senior must avoid, and stick around. Because mistake number 3 is so common, yet so shocking, it can completely flip oatmeal from a healing food into something that ages you faster. References are in the description below. Check the studies yourself and don't just take my word for it. But first, let me ask, where are you watching from, and how often does oatmeal appear in your week? Drop in the comments. I read and reply to every single one because your experiences matter here. Now, without wasting out a second, let's start with number 10. And it's one that 9 out of 10 seniors do without even realizing the damage. Number 10, adding too much sugar or honey. One of the biggest oatmeal mistakes seniors make is turning a heart-healthy bowl into a sugar bomb. Oatmeal itself has a naturally low glycemic index, meaning it digests slowly and keeps blood sugar steady. But the moment you load it with brown sugar, honey, or flavored syrups, you undo those benefits in seconds. Research from the American Diabetes Association shows that seniors who start the day with high glycemic meals like sugar, loaded oatmeal have a 64% higher risk of blood sugar crashes later in the day. These crashes don't just leave you tired, they trigger hunger, overeating, and spikes in insulin that damage the heart and brain over time. And here's the scary part. Seniors are already more vulnerable because the body becomes less efficient at processing sugar after 60. Take Elaine, a 69-year-old who added 2 spoonfuls of honey to her oatmeal every morning, thinking it was a natural sweetener. Within months, her doctor noticed her blood sugar creeping upward, and she started experiencing afternoon fatigue so severe she needed daily naps. She thought oatmeal was helping, but the sugar was sabotaging her. Too much sugar or honey doesn't just raise blood sugar. It fuels inflammation, weakens immunity, and accelerates weight gain. What should be a steady, protective breakfast instead becomes a recipe for diabetes and heart strain. That's why mistake number 10 is so dangerous. Oatmeal can be your best friend, but drown it in sugar, and it quickly turns into your worst enemy. And if sugar shocked you, the next mistake is even sneakier because it hides in the convenience of those quick fix packets millions of seniors rely on. Number 9, using flavored instant packets. The second big oatmeal mistake is relying on flavored instant packets. They may look convenient, but these little packets are one of the fastest ways to turn oatmeal from healthy to harmful. Instant oats are heavily processed, stripped of fiber, pre-cooked, and often packed with sugar, salt, and artificial flavors. What you end up with is a bowl that digests you quickly, spikes blood sugar, and leaves you hungrier than before. A study in the Journal of the American College of Nutrition found that instant oats can raise blood sugar nearly twice, as fast as old-fashioned or steel-cut oats. For seniors, this matters even more. As we age, insulin sensitivity declines, meaning our bodies can't handle sugar surges the way they used to. Those blood sugar swings don't just cause fatigue, they raise the risk of type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and memory decline. Consider Frank, a 73-year-old widower who grabbed flavored instant packets every morning to save time. At first, it seemed harmless, but over time, his doctor noticed his A1C levels creeping up, a clear sign of worsening blood sugar control. Frank thought he was eating heart-healthy oatmeal, but in reality, the packets were sabotaging his health. Instant packets also hide sodium, artificial colors, and preservatives, ingredients that put unnecessary stress on aging kidneys in the heart. They may shave 5 minutes off breakfast prep, but the long-term cost is far greater. That's why mistake number 9 is so critical. If you want oatmeal's full benefits, skip the packets and go back to basics. And if you think convenience is the only danger, wait until you hear the next mistake is hiding in what you don't add to your oatmeal, and it can silently steal your muscle strength. Number 8, skipping protein with oatmeal. Another common mistake is eating oatmeal by itself without adding any protein. Oatmeal is rich in fiber and complex carbs, but on its own, it's not a complete meal. It digests slowly at first, but without protein, blood sugar still rises faster than it should, leaving you hungry within hours. For seniors, this is even more dangerous because muscle mass naturally declines with age, and skipping protein at breakfast accelerates that loss. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that adults over 65 who ate at least 25 to 30 g of protein at breakfast maintained significantly more muscle mass compared to those who ate mostly carbs. Oatmeal without protein may fill the stomach, but it starves the muscles, contributing to sarcopenia, the silent disease of muscle wasting that robs seniors of strength and independence. Take Carol, a 70-year-old who ate plain oatmeal every morning. She thought it was enough to keep her healthy. Over time, she noticed climbing stairs became harder and carrying groceries left her winded. Her doctor explained she wasn't getting the protein her muscles needed, and her oatmeal habit, though healthy, wasn't balanced. Adding protein, whether it's Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, eggs, or even a handful of nuts, turns oatmeal into a complete muscle-protecting meal. Without it, seniors risk weaker muscles, unstable blood sugar, and more cravings throughout the day. That's why mistake number 8 is so overlooked, but so dangerous. Oatmeal needs balance, and protein is the missing piece too many seniors forget. And if skipping protein is bad, the next mistake takes it up another level because it's not about what you leave out, but about what you keep pouring in every single morning. Number 7, using creamers or condensed milk. Many seniors love making oatmeal creamier, but using coffee creamers or condensed milk is one of the most dangerous ways to do it. These add-ins might make your bowl taste rich, but they're loaded with sugar, unhealthy fats, and artificial additives that flip oatmeal's benefits upside down. A report from the Journal of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics showed that condensed milk can contain up to 21 grams of sugar in just 2 tablespoons. That's nearly your entire recommended daily sugar intake in a single splash. For seniors who already struggle with slower metabolism and reduced insulin sensitivity, this sugar overload spikes blood sugar, triggers inflammation, and stresses the heart. Creams are no better. Many non-dairy creamers are filled with hydrogenated oils, trans fats linked to higher cholesterol, and a 23% greater risk of heart disease, according to the Harvard School of Public Health. Add that to your oatmeal daily, and you're quietly sabotaging your arteries while thinking you're eating healthy. Take Norma, a 74-year-old who always added condensed milk to her oats, saying it reminded her of childhood. Over the years, her blood sugar climbed, her weight increased, and she was shocked when her doctor diagnosed her with prediabetes. She thought she was honoring tradition, but the hidden sugar was working against her. That's why mistake number 7 is so sneaky. Oatmeal should strengthen the heart, not overloaded with sugar and trans fats disguised as creaminess. And if creamers are a hidden trap, the next mistake is even more dangerous because it's disguised as something natural, yet it quietly overloads your body with sugar every single morning. Number 6, overeating oatmeal portions. Oatmeal is healthy, but only in the right amount. The problem is that many seniors think if a little is good, more must be better. Eating oversized portions of oatmeal, 2 or 3 cups at a time, can backfire, especially if it's loaded with sweet toppings. Even healthy foods, when eaten in excess, can harm the body. One standard serving of oatmeal is about half a cup of dry oats, which cooks into about 1 cup. That serving provides steady energy, fiber for digestion, and slow digesting carbs for blood sugar control. But when the portion doubles or triples, you're suddenly consuming 60 to 90 grams of carbs in one sitting. For seniors with slower metabolism, that can cause blood sugar spikes, weight gain, and even lead to fatigue rather than energy. Research published in Diabetes Care found that older adults who ate large carbohydrate-heavy meals had up to a 37% greater risk of glucose intolerance compared to those who ate moderate portions. In simple terms, too much oatmeal at once turns into a blood sugar roller coaster, not a gentle energy lift. George, A 71-year-old retired teacher used to eat a huge bowl of oatmeal every morning, believing it was the healthiest breakfast, but he often felt sluggish mid-morning, not realizing the oversized portion was spiking and crashing his blood sugar. When he finally cut his serving in half, his energy stabilized, and his doctor even noticed better blood sugar control. So, while oatmeal is powerful, it works best in balance. More isn't better. It's a silent mistake that drains energy instead of building it. And if overeating is bad, the next mistake is worse. It's about what you mix into your oatmeal that secretly ruins your health. Number 5, adding dried fruits in excess. Dried fruits may sound like the perfect healthy topping for oatmeal, but the truth is they can be a sugar bomb in disguise. Unlike fresh fruit, which contains water to balance out the sugar, dried fruits are concentrated. Just a small handful of raisins or cranberries can pack 20 to 30 grams of sugar, almost as much as a candy bar. For seniors, this hidden sugar is a major problem. As we age, insulin sensitivity drops, making it harder for the body to manage big sugar loads. That means excess dried fruit can lead to blood sugar spikes, cravings, inflammation, and eventually weight gain. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that diets high in added or concentrated sugars increase the risk of type 2 diabetes in older adults by nearly 40%. So while you may think you're doing your body a favor, your oatmeal may be acting more like dessert. Evelyn, a 68-year-old retiree, sprinkled a generous amount of sweetened dried cranberries on her oats every morning. She believed it was natural sugar, so it must be safe. But her doctor noticed her fasting blood sugar creeping up, and she couldn't figure out why. When she got back to just a few raisins and replaced the rest with fresh apple slices, her energy improved and her sugar levels calmed down. That's the hidden danger of dried fruit. It looks healthy, but too much makes oatmeal work against your body. And if sugar from dried fruit is risky, the next mistake is even trickier. Before we continue, lock in your spot by hitting like and subscribe. The health truth you need is right after this. Number 4, cooking with butter or margarine. Many seniors think cooking oats in butter or margarine makes them richer, creamier, and more filling. But here's the truth. This habit quietly loads your breakfast with unhealthy fats that can clog arteries, stiffen blood vessels, and add to joint pain. Butter is packed with saturated fat, while margarine often contains trans fats, the artificial kind that scientists say has no safe level of consumption. The New England Journal of Medicine reported that trans fats increase the risk of heart disease by 23% even in small amounts. For adults already dealing with high cholesterol or blood pressure, starting the day with buttered oatmeal is like fueling a fire that's already burning. And it's not just your heart. Too much saturated or trans fat also worsens inflammation, which is tied to arthritis and muscle loss. Harold, a 72-year-old grandfather, swore by his morning buttery oats. He thought it gave him strength, but over time, he noticed heavier fatigue after meals and higher cholesterol at checkups. When he switched to cooking with water or unsweetened almond milk and topped his bowl with nuts instead, he felt lighter and had more energy to walk with his grandkids. The danger here is sneaky because butter and margarine feel comforting, but they silently drain your health. And if cooking with butter is damaging, the next mistake may shock you even more. Number 3, eating oatmeal every meal. Oatmeal is healthy, but only in balance. Eating it for breakfast, lunch, and even dinner sounds like dedication, but can actually backfire. Oats are rich in fiber, yes, but they don't contain all the nutrients your body needs daily. If oatmeal becomes the main food you eat, you risk missing out on protein variety, healthy fats, vitamins, and minerals that protect muscles, bones, and memory. A 2019 study in Nutrients showed that older adults who ate the same foods repeatedly had a 30% higher risk of nutrient deficiencies, even when those foods were considered healthy. That means too much oatmeal can leave you low in vitamin B12, iron, and even calcium. Nutrient seniors desperately need to fight weakness and bone loss. Walter, a 70-year-old retiree, prided himself on eating oatmeal for every meal. It was easy, cheap, and thought wholesome. Within months, he noticed worsening fatigue, brittle nails, and more leg cramps. His doctor found he was low in iron and vitamin D2 nutrients oatmeal simply couldn't supply in enough quantity. When Walter diversified his meals with fish, eggs, and vegetables while keeping oatmeal just for breakfast, his energy quickly came back. Oatmeal should be a star player, the whole team. Variety is what keeps the body thriving past 60. And if eating oatmeal too often causes silent nutrient gaps, the next mistake is even more overlooked, and it's quietly hurting seniors' digestion every single morning. Number 2, ignoring food sensitivities, gluten, and some oats. Most people think oats are naturally gluten-free, and that's true. But here's the catch. Many oats are processed in factories that also handle wheat, barley, or rye. That means hidden gluten can sneak in, and for seniors with sensitivities, it can cause chaos. Gluten intolerance doesn't always show up as severe celiac disease. It can be much subtler: bloating, joint pain, fatigue, or even brain fog after eating. A study published in Clinical Gastroenterology and Hepatology found that even tiny traces of gluten triggered inflammation in sensitive adults, leading to digestive upset and increased immune stress. For older adults already struggling with reflux or memory decline, this hidden gluten can worsen symptoms without them ever suspecting their oatmeal. Dorothy, a 74-year-old teacher, ate oats every morning and couldn't understand why her stomach felt heavy and her knees ached by midday. She thought it was just normal aging, but when her doctor suggested certified gluten-free oats, her pain and bloating improved within weeks. The difference wasn't in the oats themselves, it was in avoiding contamination. This mistake is dangerous because it hides in plain sight. Thanks for watching.